I'm Alan Felsenthal, and you're tuned in to Poets House Presents. This summer, I'll be teaching a class at Poets House about animals and poetry called Writing with Animals, focusing on how and why we write about animals, how they're debased or exalted in poems. And so I've decided to read you some animal poems, some new ones, and then some from my book Lowly, published by Duckling Presse in 2017. This first poem is called Poem of the Pond. Moonless light, the sorrow of listening to calls of olive frogs, soft, uniform, their skin damp from hunting speechless snails, slugs, small lives of the leaf litter. Poets draw clouds, dirt, mud, night, streams, dawn, to tell us how a goodly, heavy rain washes away, for a short time, mosquitoes, ascending toward the heavens, their bodies of blood. They scribble one gesture for the young fox, impelled to haunt, her soft gray paws stepping over a thumb-sized hole where white mice hide, to show us life, alert and destructive. This old natural lair, this fount of spawn, an altar upon which relentless gifts of existence resurge, lift, raise, appear. But all elegies written in this world, any appetites available here, can't bring back to us one dear friend now gone. This is called Cost of Living. In summer, the diurnal, laughing gull seeks palms with food along the beach, his black hooded head punctuated by a sharp red beak that picked shells from the nest after an egg hatched, in case a shard of shell settled upon another, preventing its hatching, since even a sliver the size of your thumbnail untrimmed, its weight less than a penny, is too heavy for the pipping of a chick's egg tooth from under the egg's roof. Similar to the loss of a parent too soon, the weight of grief, leaden as a strident fog, you can roughly lift enough to live. This next poem is called Memory of the Deeps. The moon is never new. It is seen, smiling, unlike the deep sea and its indefinite laugh. Until we can see down there, species exist in dark scenes, smelling bloody water, suctioning each other's heads, spinning slowly through ink until they bump into what they long for. The pressure is too high for you to get there with technology. The deep doesn't care about your degree, nor do the creatures for whom you are food. Layers below the layers you know reveal unimaginable sorrow. If you look at them enough to remember stuff you tried to forget. When I slid down countless fathoms, my brown eyes exploded, and in my darkened brain I was a child again, being chased from the house and hiding behind a sugar bush. The moon appears bounded by the sky as you are belted with your body and its desire for water. Some plans to send our trash to the moon are nearing attainment, yea, for headway. Soon the moon will look like Earth, but not the deep sea, so dark you forget lightness, where dead whales fall to be hacksawed by revolving sleeper sharks. Every crowd is like that when you enter its center. I remember that after my eyes exploded, a slight calm subsumed me, my body so numb I couldn't move. And before I was eaten, before they could rive flesh from my bones, I thought of my last home, the final bed I slept in. But this is my final bed, the depressed seafloor, below the abyssal zone, in the depths of the Challenger Deep, where Hades poses over plunging trenches of sediment. If you can figure out how to live with no oxygen present, you might have a chance down here, where our tallest mountain, submerged, stays a mile below sea level, and no one can see you. This next poem is called The Hawk at Washington Square Park, based on a true story. Set on a wire, on a breezeless day, so still, his frame was a figurine that looked at us. People, eyes on each other, pass. Calm, the majestic sentinel sits slightly above our bitterness, his body its own crutch. He is proving the true nature of his greatness by being ignored, as if saying impassively, be noiseless, unseen. Not behind or under us, you belong to your times, but above, commit to spirit, yours. And then a gentle wind comes. These last two poems are from Lowly. The first one's very short and called Beginning with a Horse. A horse has 6 legs. 2 belong to a man, who might be Pluto, disguised as the devil, abducting a unicorn, whose horn was used to purify a spring that wedded the infinite, now behind us. And this final poem is just entitled Psalm. This will take a glacial slumber to move my foot, for it suffers. When my foot suffers, I suffer, and nothing less than sleep, different from slumber, can take my eyes. In my heart is a heifer, her dust, ashes that purify my heart for touching a corpse. I touched a corpse, and it was my own, and since then all I can do is slumber, make amends. 'Tis a fairy world inside my bones. Keening there in the world of ash is an ardent gleam which waits for polish like a smile. Make a hill and keep it for the hope of help. Never let the heavens, their earth, leave you without help. Say, I was just a boy then, and now I can hear the question. Where is the water that bathes blemishes? How can I get it to the heifer in my heart? I'm Alan Felsenthal, and this has been Poets House Presents. I think Poets House is a sacred space in New York, a safe haven for books that might otherwise be lost, made freely available to us. Anyone can go, all are welcome. I've gone to readings there, I've given readings there, I'll be teaching a class there, and they're an amazing organization that I support and love, and I hope you do too. I also want to thank Ugly Duckling Presse for publishing my book, Lowly, in 2017. If you're interested in reading some of the poems, I hope you'll buy it directly from Ugly Duckling Presse and support them, based here in Brooklyn. Thanks for tuning in.
If you've enjoyed these programs, please consider giving a contribution to Poets House. For more than 30 years, they've kept the door wide open to everyone for the joy of poetry. Recently, they have temporarily had to shut the door and are reeling from the financial implications. Please give, even a small donation if you can. Thank you.